This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. We are back with another Wednesday. We got shit to talk about tonight. I'm irritated about some shit. And I normally don't get irritated about shit I see on social media. But before we get into that, how you doing, Bridget? You good?
I'm good. How about you, Don?
I'm good. Okay, so I saw this shit, and I call it shit because pretty much everything that comes out of Cam Newton's mouth is typically just shit. Mm-hmm. He was having an interview, and I don't know the young lady's name, so we just gonna call her the young lady. And they were going back and forth. She asked him a question about, is a woman's worth depleted or decreased the more kids she have? And his response, well, she said by the more kids she have by different men. And his response was, the more kids she have, period, just decreases her value. And I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Like, I don't normally go on tangents about shit I see on social media because most of that shit's not real. I don't think Cam Newton believes 95% of the shit he says. But when I heard him say that shit, I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this shit. Like, how, as a woman, how do you feel about a idiotic fucking statement like that?
I mean, to me, it just shows you his value. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? For you to have that type of mentality, like, it shows you, like, you know, remember one time we was talking about, like, high value and low value, and you know what I'm saying? Just because you're famous and you got money, that doesn't automatically make you high value. But with that mentality, that's very low value, you know, low vibrational thinking. But to me, like, a good woman is always going to be a good woman. It does not matter how many kids she has.
Exactly. A good woman is just a good woman.
A good woman can have 20 children and she's still going to be a good woman.
Exactly. And her value isn't decreased by that. Like, yeah, like so in essence, he devalued women by getting them pregnant is basically what he's saying, because he has 5 children by one lady and then 2 children by another. So he devalued 2 different women based on what he's saying.
Yeah, but he devalued himself as well, because there's not a double standard when it comes to women and men. Because being realistic, there are women that don't want to deal with men that have children, let alone men that have multiple children. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I don't understand why they sit there and act like that subject is a double standard when it comes to women, because that goes for both genders. Like, it's literally women who do not want to deal with men that have more than a certain amount of children, and vice versa. But that doesn't automatically make that person value decrease just because they have children.
Right.
What if somebody desire to have a certain amount of children by a certain age?
Yeah.
I got my children, and now what? Now I'm no longer considered a good woman. I'm no longer considered a woman of value. I have no morals. I have no standards. I don't have, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that takes away just because I wanted to have children. Because, like, being honest, having children is a choice, especially for women, because if they really didn't want them, they wouldn't have them.
Right.
You know, so, like, it's like, okay, I don't know. I think that statement is very dumb. Like, I think it's very dumb. And for the fact that he can't choose one woman to get married, you know what I'm saying? One woman to bear all his children. To me, I feel like that speaks more volumes about his character than any other woman he wants to speak about.
Yeah, like, I didn't even think about it the way you said it. Like, what if a woman just desired to have so many children? I know women who had children through, like, what is it, IUI or whatever? Like, not IUI.
IVI.
They got in, so they wanted to have children, and they opted to have children minus a man.
Yeah.
So how does that take down her value? How does that decrease her value because she has children?
Right.
And men don't realize a man's value, because a man's value is more decreased by having multiple children by multiple women, more so than a woman.
Yeah.
Because a woman is going to attract who she's going to attract. If a good man wants to come into her life, he's not going to care about how many children she has. He's going to love her. He's going to love her children.
Yeah.
But a woman coming into a man's life, it's like, wait a minute. And I'm not talking about celebrities. Okay, so you got 5 children by 5 different women. That means you got 5 different sets of child support. What can you do for her at this point?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I personally, I feel like it doesn't decrease the value of a woman. I don't know. I really feel I'm trying not to be ignorant, but I really feel like it really decreases the man's value, if anything, because it's bad enough we already don't want to fucking deal with y'all asses. So let y'all have 1 or 2 fucking kids. Y'all automatically we fucking fed the fuck up your ass. The fuck? The hell? So I just look at it like I don't know. But I also look at it like when people make statements like that, it just shows the lack of respect they have for women. Or maybe you weren't raised by a good woman. Honestly. Like my mother has 4 children and she's an amazing woman. Like, you know, I'm not just saying that because that's my mother, or even like some of my sisters. Like, you know, like I don't know.
My grandmother had 15 children. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Could that possibly have decreased her value? No, because she was a good woman and she raised all her children. So
yeah,
I don't understand how somebody says that every time you have a child, excuse me, your value decreases more. Like, that's stupid. And then there was another statement that the young lady, and once again, don't remember her name. She's not really that important, I guess. She said that a woman will never do better than her baby's father, her children's father. And I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking statement. Like,
a woman will never do better?
Right. Excuse me. So what she was basically saying was, once a woman has a child by a man, that's the best man she'll ever get.
That's a fucking lie.
From the pit of hell. Yeah, it's a lie.
What? Yeah, this just shows why everyone who isn't famous isn't of value, nor do they have any common sense. Like, what type of statement is that? That's dumb.
Yeah, like, I know plenty of women who have had a child. For whatever reason, them and their child father didn't work out. And the next man that come into their life was a gold mine to them. And I'm not talking about a financial gold mine or anything like that, but I'm talking about somebody who really enriched their life.
Yeah.
So to say that a woman should stop after being with their baby father because she's never going to find anything better than that, that's probably the second dumbest statements I've heard today. Cam's was the first.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, will people judge you based off of the people that you've chosen in your life?
Constantly evolving. Right. I don't know about every man. I can speak from my standpoint. I've changed through the years, but my evolution wasn't as drastic. Yeah, I changed from my teens to my 20s. Then maybe my 20s to my 30s. I'm pretty much about the same person. Late 30s to now. I pretty much was dead set in my ways. Women are constantly, a woman will hit her 40s and she's already gone through 2 different evolutions. Like, by the time a woman hits 40, she hates everything that she did in her 30s or 20s. She semi-likes some of the changes she made in her 30s, but by the time she hits 40s, and it's not just 40s, oh, she's on a constant growth spurt at that point. Everything about her mentally is changing. Things that she did before disgust her at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I think that people have a really bad image of humanity now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
in the past, back in our grandparents' time, it was nothing to have multiple kids. It
Yeah.
was that was their thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? To have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids. Now that's not where I'm at. You know, I like to stop where I need to stop at, but
But I
that
think
was their thing.
yeah, I think people need to stop listening to people because it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because oh, if you have children, your value decreases. If you don't have any children, you're not a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people are always gonna have something to say. Um, but again, this is why, people should know who they are, because once you know who you are, people's opinion of you is invalid. You know, um, to me, I feel like a good woman is always going to be a good woman. I've heard like men who don't have children say like, "Oh, I don't want to have children with women who already have children." I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily think that, like, if that's what you want, cool. But like, to me, a woman who has children, just like a man who has children, actually says a lot more than someone who has no children at all. It
Right.
shows you how responsible they are when it comes to their children, how much they love and tend to their children, if they prioritize their children, if you could see yourself having children with them. To me, it says more than someone who has no children. You don't get to see those nurturing skills and stuff like that. So, I mean, men can sit here and say all day long, "Oh, I want to deal with a woman who has no kids," and that's fine. And that's not to say women who don't have kids wouldn't be great mothers. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you're taking more of a risk because you can have a child with a woman who has no children, and if she is like, "Oh, I like to be outside," she has that kid, and she like, "Oh, I'm going out with my homegirls every single weekend," and you're like, "We supposed to be a family," like, and she want to be a city girl, whatever, be outside, So, yeah, I don't know, I don't necessarily feel like your value decreases just because you have children. Like, I know amazing women with children. And honestly, when men make that excuse, I'd be like, "You're a fucking fool. Like, you're a fool." Like, some of the women that I'm surrounded around have children, and they are like the ultimate woman. Like,
Yeah.
they make sure they can cook their ass off, clean, like make sure their kids look good, they smart as hell, got good ass fucking jobs, like got their own house, like they got their shit together. Like, and it's because a lot of times when people have children, that's that extra drive. When sometimes when you
Yep.
don't have children, sometimes even when you get deep into your head, you like, I don't got no purpose, I don't got no reason. How many times, Don, have you heard people say in general, because I ain't even gonna say just women, but people in general, "My kids saved me." Like,
I'm that guy. I am
exactly.
that guy. I am
Exactly.
definitely 100% that guy. I intentionally got my daughter's mother pregnant because I needed a reason to live. I needed a reason to grow up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what my daughter did for me. So it in a lot of times a woman's mindset will change when they have children. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they may have been phenomenal by themselves, but their growth spurt from that point, because now they know it's not just me.
Yeah.
I have to be responsible for another life. Everything that I do going forward is going to affect someone else.
Yeah.
And women grow astronomically when they have children. Um,
I'll tell you this too. I pretty much know and can say for a fact, women with children, not to, because I feel like women are strong, period. But women
mhm,
with children have a different level of strength. It's different.
yeah,
It's different. Like, they are literally like super women. Like, they're not afraid of anything. Like, not they. It's like they have no fear in their heart because they're not even living for themselves at that point. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, like, to me, the strongest women are the ones that have children. Like, I don't know. And why not to say like, oh, because I don't have children, like, well, I'm definitely strong, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know if I ever become a mother, like, I will have to get to that level of strength, you know, but it's just a different level, you know. And so I feel like any man that says that, they're a fool. Like, you know, and if you meet a good woman and you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with her because she has children, you know, which is a choice. You don't have to deal with someone because they have children. Like, that's not what you prefer, but you could be really like passing up an amazing person.
Yeah, and I have a friend of mine and I asked him because he just hit his 40s not too long ago, and I was like, "Yo, you're not gonna have no saying you don't want to have no children, like, because I've seen him around like women that he's dated. I've seen him around their kids, and I'm like you're a phenomenal dad. No saying like you would be a phenomenal dad, and he's like, no, I don't want children of my own. He's like, but I don't mind meeting a woman who has children because I don't have to. I don't have to start over. Somebody's already started. All I got to do is come in, step in, help nurture, help build that child up.
Right.
So he said, no, I never thought about having my own children. He said, but I don't mind meeting a woman with children.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, first of all, that's admirable that you decided not to have children, but yet you won't look down on a woman because she has children. You'll say, you know what? I don't mind stepping in and filling that need.
Yeah.
So there are guys out there who just chose not to have children, but they don't mind being with a woman who does have a child or children.
Exactly.
So,
I know
yeah.
plenty of men that didn't have kids. They got with women that had kids, and they end up having kids together, and they still together, and it's like they have a big, happy, blended family. You know,
like
I don't know.
I
see it a lot, honestly. So that's why I don't know.
Yeah, I think Cam makes, and I think that he says stuff just for sound bites. Because just like we talking about it now, he says things just for sound bites, for attention.
Right.
My wife tends to think that everything he says he means. I don't think Cam's smart enough to mean anything. I think he's the prime example of a dumb jock. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says some of the dumbest things on the planet. But when I heard what he said today, I was like, yeah, nah, I got to talk about this because I want other men to understand that if you meet a woman who has children, don't judge her on the fact that she has children. Judge her on the fact of how well she takes care of her children. How well she takes care of her children says a lot of things about her. One, if she's nurturing to her children, she has a peaceful home, her children are well behaved. That's the kind of environment that you're walking into. Now, if the kids are running around acting silly, she cursing them out, you know what I'm saying, smacking them upside the head for no good reason, you might want to look at her a little different. But if you got a woman who's already a good woman and you can see how she's raising her children and her children being raised properly and well, that's a great situation to walk into. Now, the whole baby daddies and baby mamas things, that's a whole topic for another conversation, because depending on who you decided to deal with can mess up your whole life in astronomical ways. But I don't think that a woman's value decreases based on how many children she had. And I definitely don't believe that a woman can't do better than her baby's father. I don't, and I'm the baby father to 3 women, and I would have hoped that they would have done better. I don't think they did, but I would have hoped they would have done better after me. But I don't think that I was like the end all be all to their life either.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, since when are children looked at like their burdens? Now, don't get me wrong. If you choosing a wrong type of woman and she hasn't raised her children correctly, then I can see like, oh no, I don't want to be around that person's children. But children are an ultimate blessing. I think people always look at, oh, they're expensive, they're this, they're that, but they also come with unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? And even to me, I feel like the more children, like not saying like, oh, date someone with like a whole bunch of kids, but the more children that you love, like those, like life is really like it's a full circle, like, you know. And I feel like I learned that at a very young age. Like when I was 19, I had to be a caretaker to my great grandmother, and at that very moment, I realized like literally you're born into this world, you're a baby, you grow up, you become an adult, and then low-key you become a baby again, you know. And the same children that you raise will then have to take care of you. And I think that because everyone living life, you're just in the moment, right? But you don't ever think, and you know, some people do mentally prepare themselves like, oh, I'm preparing myself for retirement and all this stuff. But one day you literally might not be able to get out of bed, you know? And at that moment, how you've treated people and the people that you've poured into and love, that's going to reflect on who is surrounding around you in that moment, you know? And I just feel like as long as you do right by children, there that full circle is gonna come back around. Like, you know, like I've said it before, like my oldest niece is 21. Like I was sick a few weeks ago. She literally came and brought me a Gatorade. Like, you know, I'm like, dang, like I've lived for this moment. Like, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like I feel like I'll sacrifice so much for her as a teenager because my brother had her very young. But it's like, dang, now that I'm an adult, when I can't do for myself sometimes, she's there for me. And I'm like, okay, like, and I'm not saying that's the whole point of children, you know, but I feel like as long as you take care of them and love them, eventually you're going to need children. That's what people don't realize. The same children that you want to act like is a burden and I got to financially take care of you, you will need them one day. I promise you. And some people be acting like they don't give a fuck if they go into a nursing home and stuff. I promise you that's not where you want to go. Because once you get there, you're going to be like, you're going to be mad as hell that you ain't got no choice but to be there, you know?
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why the world look at children like they're, you know, like I don't, less than what they are. Children are very precious. Like, you know, everybody in the world can disappoint you. And not saying children won't ever make mistakes. They make mistakes, but they will love you so unconditionally. Like, to me, that's the most purest form of love, you know?
Like financially, children are expensive. I can vouch for that. I have 4 children, and for my oldest is 30, and for 30 years it's been expensive. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything that I've done. You know what I'm saying? I would not change my children for anything in this world. And it's because the love that I had to have as a parent taught me to grow on so many different levels.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, like I said, I'll say I'll yell it from the highest fucking mountain. My daughter saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
But my sons, they taught me I needed to grow up and be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was no more making foolish decisions just because it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had to make decisions based on what I do today. Is that going to affect their tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that going to affect their mentality? Is that going to affect their well-being? So I had to grow up and mature. See, growing up is sometimes just growing up, you know. But when you grow up and you become a mature adult, because you're going to grow up no matter whether or not you're mature or not. You're going to grow up. You're going to grow up and you're going to grow older. But maturing is something different.
Yeah.
So like women, hats off to women, because women have had to raise children by themselves. Shout out to all the women out there who stuck it out, did the right thing by your children. It didn't decrease your value in my book. Definitely increased your value. I know friends of mine who would say, you know, if a woman has one child, she's got too many. I just think that they're selfish as shit. I think if a woman has a child and she's taking care of it, and she allows a man to come into her life and co-parent with her, that shows how much respect she has for you as a man. So, you know, that's my soapbox for this Wednesday, people. But Cam got on my nerves with that shit because I have two sisters and I've watched both of them be phenomenal moms. So anytime I hear something like that, I'm like, yo, you're talking about the women that are in my life as well. You know what I'm saying? So because every woman in my family have all had children, and they're all phenomenal moms.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. The women around me, my sisters, my mom, they all have multiple children, and when I say they don't play about their children, like they're amazing women. Like I don't know, so I think that's dumb.
Yeah, but let's talk about growth and growing the fuck up. What you got for us, Bridge?
Sure. So my topic is everyone has the capacity to grow, but everyone doesn't want to choose to do the work. Growth is a choice. So I understand. I want to talk about this because I was watching something on the internet and basically like I know that everyone comes from their own personal struggles. So based on what we did not have growing up will set us back somewhat as an adult. But I feel like everything that we choose, like if we want growth, that's because we choose to want to grow in certain areas. And I just personally feel like when it comes to certain things, with the video that I seen online was specifically talking about like men basically like loving and treating women correctly. And sometimes like they were in the video was like using the excuse of, oh, I never knew how to love or something to that extent. Um, and to me, after a certain age, I feel like it's a choice. How do you feel about that, Dawn?
So I definitely feel like men will use that excuse, and I used to use that excuse when I was younger. I don't know how to love a woman. You know what I'm saying? I know how to take care of a woman, but I don't know how to love a woman. But yeah, I also made the active choice later on in life to learn how to actually love a woman. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to grow into that, but I had to make that choice. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like it wasn't like I got an epiphany one day and it was like, oh, this is how you love. You know what I'm saying? I had to actually sometimes research how to really love a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was growing up, all of the older guys around me, what they would do to show love to a woman was they would buy them things. So I grew up thinking that was love. That was romance. You know what I'm saying? Like to be romantic, to love a woman, all you gotta do is buy them some shit and they know you love them.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally grew up and realized, no, that's not exactly what it is because there's so many aspects to how a woman wants to be loved, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And you just saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna throw some money at her and that's gonna make her feel like she's loved. That doesn't make every woman feel loved. You know what I'm saying? But that was definitely a choice. Because it wasn't something that was automatically instilled in me. I had to choose to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nisha said Clifton Powell said he just learned to love at 69. That's specifically the clip that I was talking about.
Wow.
And I the reason why I personally agree with the clip is because like he is an actor, right? So he made a choice at some point in his life to say, I want to be an actor. I'm gonna take this seriously. He probably done took acting classes and whatever else he had to do to perfect that craft. You know what I'm saying? It was important to him. I feel like as an adult, when in I'm gonna speak on relations because I feel like this topic goes for anything, right? If you feel like you've had so many failed relationships or failed marriages or whatever, right? At some point, you have to take accountability and say, why is this not working? Now, when it comes to him saying that he just learned how to do it at 69, which might have been the case, but that just shows that it was never important enough for him to take the time to learn it, because that wasn't something that he truly wanted. Because to me,
Right.
if it's something that I truly want to do, right? Like, I do locks. I wanted to learn how to get better. I wanted to become a business owner. It was something that I really wanted to do. I took the time to research it. I took the time to learn it, and I took the time to master the skill. Just like he does when it comes to acting and stuff. So to me, and it's like, I'm glad that even in his lifetime at 16, I mean, I'm not trying to shade him or nothing, because I do understand that everyone grows at different pace, but it's what people find important, like that topic we talked about, emotional laziness. I feel like you you don't learn how to love until later in life, it's because you're being emotionally lazy. It's not important to you. You don't think it's important to you.
Right.
But you can't sit here and wait until you're almost 70 years old and sit here and use the excuse of, oh, I needed women to help elevate me and teach me and this, that, and third. You taught yourself how to tie your shoes. You done taught yourself how to walk. You done taught yourself how to act. You done taught yourself how to be a homeowner, how to go to school. You taught yourself so many things. Why, if learning to love or to sustain healthy relationships was important to you, why didn't you feel like you need to take the time to learn that? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it just goes with anything. Like, even if someone's had bad relations, like, even if I felt like I wasn't the problem, I still have to sit back and self-reflect, like, no, I want to have healthy relationships. So what's my part in this? Why am I choosing these type of people? You know what I'm saying? This is something that I desire. I want to be married. I want to have children. So I have to sit back and reflect, and I also have to learn what do I have to do to be successful at this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it what you said has a lot of truth to it, and it's something that someone said to me that made me actually start to figure that I've been doing it wrong the whole time. If you want something, you'll go ahead and work at figuring out how to do it the best you can, if you really want it. Um, I've been DJing since I was 12 years old. I never stopped learning more DJ skills. I always did more things to figure out. I would sit and watch DJs and sit and stand and just watch them do their whole DJ set because I wanted to learn how to be a better DJ. But up until a certain age, and for me, it was probably about my mid 30s, um, mid to late 30s, I never really said, okay, let me situate myself around men who are truly showing me what it takes to love a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it was important to me, that's what I would have done. I would have put myself around people who was in successful relationships, loving their wife and loving their woman the right way. And when I said, okay, let me learn from them. But instead, I wanted to learn how to be a hoe. So I hung around dudes that was hoes, and
thank you for
that
the
shit.
accountability, Don, because we appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey. And up until the point when I felt like, damn, you're getting too old for this shit. And I was like, wow, I've been doing this shit wrong the whole time. And when a woman said to me, she literally said, you will put all of your time and energy into learning how to be a better DJ, but you will put zero time and energy into learning how to love a woman right. And I was like, wow, it's like serious. And it took some self-reflection. Like I really sat back and I was like, damn, do I really care about women like that? You know what I'm saying? Do I care that little for women that everything else is more important to me? DJing, being an on-air personality, shit, guns, anything was more important to me. I would put all my time and energy into watching videos after videos and watching professionals. Mm-hmm. And never will I watch a video about a successful couple and how that man said that he loves his woman.
Yeah. And the thing is, as a man, if you choose to wait until your whatever age to be like, you know what, I really want to learn. I really want something real. I really want a successful relationship. I really want marriage. I want this. And now I feel like it's important enough. Okay, cool. But what I'm sick and tired of is y'all using women as the excuse of, well, I just needed you to no. Cause the fuck, when we want to learn how to do shit, we learn how to do it. Some of us was lacking some of the same things that men were lacking. That's still not excuse for us to learn how to love and learn how to evolve and learn how to get better. You know what I'm saying? But I think like regardless of what you didn't receive, you know, like I know people who had mothers that was on crack, and they said, I'm gonna own my own business. Like, that's not an excuse. It's what you say, like, no, like I want better. I want to learn how to do better. It doesn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we could all sit here and say, all right, some people were ahead of, like, some if you were raised in a different environment than some people, yeah, you might have had an advantage when it comes to certain things. If you think your parents married, you have an advantage, you know. But after a certain age, it's a choice. The same way you like, oh, I want to go to college and get this degree to pursue this career. That is a choice, you know. And like in the clip that I had shared, I think the woman is like a dating coach or something like that, but she was basically saying like men make a choice to go to work and be nice to their boss. They make a choice to be nice to their friends, but y'all draw the line at, I can't be nice to this woman that I'm dealing with. And that's fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're literally choosing to mistreat her. Because it's not that you're incapable of doing it, because you show love to everybody around you but your woman. That's it. So that's a choice at that point. It's not the fact that, oh, I didn't grow up and I don't know how to know, because you love your mother, you love your sisters, you love your homeboys, you love your boss because the boss cut that check. So you, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, what you need, you know what I'm saying? You gonna serve them everything that they need. But when it comes to your partner who genuinely loves you, that's where I draw the line of, I just don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't get love correctly. That's an excuse. You know, it's a choice to want to evolve. And when it comes to whatever it is, it's not just relationships, but whatever it is, it's an excuse, you know? So I think when men use that excuse, oh, I didn't have love, you know, that is a form of emotional laziness. It's a form of being an avoidant because, oh, I never received love, so it's scary to me. Well, I mean, sir, you never knew how to act. I'm pretty sure it was scary for you. It was scary for you to get on screen and act in front of these cameras and these people, but you did it. It was probably scary to go to an award show and walk the red carpet, but you did it. So because you never received love, I'm scared to learn and get better at it. That's an excuse.
Like, minimizing the person that you're with, whether it be man or female, you know what I'm saying? But minimizing who you're with by saying, I never had it, so I don't know how to do it, and I'm not gonna try.
Yeah.
Is the worst thing in the world. Excuse me, huh? My wife said something to me, and I was like, nah, that's not the case. She was telling me that men are more loyal to their barber than they are to their woman. And I was like, yo, that's you tripping. But I was out of the loop. I didn't know. I was talking to one of my boys one day, and he said to me, he said, yo, you don't know loyalty. Because we was talking about, because I was like, yo, why do you still go to the barber? Like, no saying, like, you can cut your own hair. No saying, it ain't like you get anything extravagant done to your head. Just cut your own hair. He's like, see, you don't have no loyalty. And I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with loyalty? He's like, I've been with my barber for 20 years. And I was like, but you've been divorced twice, nigga. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, your barber's more important than your fucking wife. And I was like, yo, I don't want to have this conversation because I didn't want my wife to be right. But at that moment, I was like, damn, she was totally fucking right. And I was like, that shit is crazy. That a man would be more loyal to his barber.
To someone that is technically, not saying that it don't get personal, but it's technically transactional.
Very transactional. Very transactional. He don't like you no more than the next customer that comes in. You are just that. You're a customer.
Yeah.
When you come in, he's going to cut your hair the best that he can, so you can get a better tip, and that you come back in 2 weeks to get another haircut. But for you to say, "Oh, I won't go to another barber," I go to barbers who, and it's very rare that I go to a barber because I really cut my own hair most of the time. But if I do go out and step into a barber, sometimes I just want to, sit in the chair and chill. It's because I know that barber's a good barber. I don't have a personal barber. Yeah. I go to whoever is convenient, close, and they can cut hair really well. Now I have one good friend of mine. He cuts hair really good. And now whenever I need to go get my hair cut and I just want to sit in the chair, chill, chop it up, I'll go check him. But I know that's transactional. He's going to cut my hair well. He's going to have a good conversation with me. I'm going to pay him whatever his price is, and I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
But the woman that you're sleeping next to every single day, you're closing your eyes. This is the person who literally has your life in their hands every time you close your eyes and go to sleep. And you ain't got no loyalty to her?
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that you probably have customers that have traveled with you, whether you change locations and they're still coming through to you. But I would still think that they should understand, yes, Bridget's going to do my hair phenomenally. She's going to do it. Why? Because one, she's a perfectionist, so she's going to make sure that it looks perfect. But her name's on that. If you walk down the street and they go, "Damn, your shit fucked up. Who did your hair?" And you're like, "Oh, Bridget, she up the way. I ain't gonna make sure I don't go to her." So you have a vested interest in taking care of your client. It's not just because you love them and you want to make sure you get that hug.
Yeah, but it's like I me personally, I do genuinely love my clients, but at the same time, it's like I like, even when they try to get me invested into their life, and their relationships and stuff, I'm never going to tell you what to do. Like, This is your life, like, this is your relationship. It's not for me to tell. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that my thing is, because someone tried to say that it's like men deserve grace when it comes to this. And I do agree, because to an extent, listen, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I do understand it is a generational thing. It's nothing but Black men in my family. And I witnessed the Black men in my family struggle to say I love you back when I would say I love you. I've witnessed it throughout my life, to the point where I had to make them get uncomfortable with saying I love you too, and this was on both sides. Like, it's almost foreign to them. The Black men did not like it. You could tell it made them uncomfortable at a certain period of time, until I just kept saying, every time we hang up the phone, I love you, I love you, I love you. And even now it's like, okay, yeah, now they're used to it. So I get it, because it was not something that was done a lot when it comes to Black men. Like, saying I love you and showing you I love you is two different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love you. Like, I'm saying it, like, but I'm pretty sure you've seen love too within your fathers, your grandfathers, and stuff like that. So to an extent, I can give you a little grace, because I know that's something that we lacked from one generation to the next. Saying that I love you, not necessarily not showing that I love you. Now, if you didn't grow up with your father in your life or your mother in your life, you might have struggled not seeing or feeling what real love is. But at the same time, like, I just like with this whole topic, if you feel like when we become adults, when we reflect on our life and we be like, dang, my dad wasn't around, I didn't receive this, I haven't abandoned, like, like me, I'll put my shit up there. I don't give a fuck. I've had abandonment issues, so that causes me to be anxiously attached. I can sit here and say all these things about me, which I had to reflect and realize, like, you have an anxious attachment style, you have abandonment issues. You know, I could sit there and put all my stuff that I know that I've struggled with when it comes to men, and I had to reflect and sit there and say, you have to work on these things. You know what I'm saying? This is an unhealthy attachment style, you know, because is it important for me to have healthy relationships with men? It is, you know? So I just feel like vice versa. Like, if you don't know how to have a healthy relationship with women, but you know that that's something that you truly desire, how are you ever going to get married if you don't ever do the work, if you know you never had that example to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. However, I think that grace should only be extended but so far. Because a man will say, I love my car, and they will clean that car and take care of that car week in, week out, make sure that the tires are shiny. So they really do love their car. They'll say, I love my jewelry, and they will make sure that they clean that jewelry, take care of that jewelry. That jewelry is shining and glistening every time they leave the house. Mm-hmm. But you can't tell a person that you are physically connected to, a human being, you can't tell them you love them, or you can't decide to love them properly.
Yeah.
Because that's a decision. Like, you're deciding to love somebody, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a good friend of mine, and I didn't understand it when he said it to me. We were both younger. He was just more mature. And he was like, love is a decision. Mm-hmm. He was like, every morning I wake up, I decide to still be in love with my wife. And I used to be like, nah, love is an emotion. You know what I'm saying? Love is just an emotion. And if you feel it, you feel it. And if you don't, you don't. He was like, no. Mm-hmm. He was like, the emotion is just something that's unexplainable. Yeah. He was like, you feel for somebody just because you do. Yeah. He's like, but you still have to decide that feeling is love. Because you can hate somebody and have the same level of feeling, may not be the same type of feeling, they will be on the same level as love. He's like, but you have to choose that what you're feeling for that person is love. And I'm going to show them that I love them every day. Yeah. So I was like, you know, I didn't understand it then. I'm glad he said it to me, because when I finally did know what love was and how to properly love somebody, I reflected back on that conversation. Yeah. So I think giving people more grace than they deserve is
yeah. I give grace when it comes to certain things, and like you said, after a certain age, the things that you decide to do or don't do is a choice. I feel like love is a choice. Love is a choice because despite you getting on my fucking nerves, I love you and I'm still going to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? Love is, to me, I feel like a choice, like to choose you even when we have conflict, even when you're irritating me, even when, you know, despite all the bad, I'm still choosing to love you despite of all that. It's a choice, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that, you know, when it comes to some men, the men that use their lack of what they had growing up, I feel like what they're really doing is trying to punish the women for the love that they never received, you know, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because if a woman is coming to your life to simply love you and that's something you never received, it's almost like you're resenting her for giving you something that I would hope that you always desired, you know what I'm saying? But maybe it's you're resenting her because you're like, this is what I wanted from my mom, or this is what I wanted from my dad, you know? And so it's coming from the wrong person, you know? So, but it's like, you're punishing the person that's willing to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense, you know? Like, I don't know.
Like, I think dealing with your own emptiness or inadequacies is the first step to being able to be loved properly and show love properly. Because if you were lacking something in your life growing up, you're either going to do one of two things. You're either going to resent that thing that you're lacking, or you're going to seek it so badly that you're going to find it in the wrong place. So it's going to work one way or the other.
Yeah.
But that requires self-reflection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to figure out, okay, this is what I was lacking. Am I going to hate anybody who tries to give it to me? Or am I just going to try to go find it anywhere in the world?
Right.
But you should still come to a point where you grow to a level that says, okay, if this is something I want, then I'm going to actually know how to give back when I find that person who's actually giving it to me.
Yeah.
You know, like my daughter's getting ready to get married, and I send her videos like of different marriage, like different married couples, and they'll put snippets and stuff on the internet, and I'll send it to her because I want her to learn how to properly be married. How to. I don't want her to go off of just what she sees in me. I want her to go by, okay, well, it's not just what I see in my dad or what my dad says. It's multiple couples who said the same thing. And this guy said, he was talking about him and his wife. He said, and they've been married, I think 22 or 23 years. And he was like, no, we don't like each other every day. Mm-hmm. There's days that we walk around this house and not like each other, but we still choose to continue to love each other every single day. Mm-hmm. And we do things to show each other how much we love each other. And I had to send it to her because I'm like, yeah, you're getting ready to get married and you're not going to like the person that you're married to every day. Mm-hmm. There's no contract that says you got to like each other every day, but you do got to choose to love each other. Mm-hmm. So for this guy to say it took him till 69, I guess, you can teach an old dog new tricks. If it took him to 69, I'm glad that he found it before he left this earth or found the ability to do it. But I think it shouldn't take you till you're 69 either,
Yeah. I think that from what I've seen throughout my life, I feel like a lot of the men that struggle when it comes to loving women, majority of the time it stems from whatever they lacked in childhood. Either their mother wasn't around, their father wasn't around, or sometimes, believe it or not, it is men that sit there and resent their mother for being single mothers. And so now you go around as a grown-ass man and mistreat women because you resent your mother because you felt like she should have chose a better father for me. Somehow your father walking away became your mother's fault. So now you have lack of, even though they can sit there and be like, oh, I love my mom, I love my mom, I love my mom, but low-key you have some resentment because you blame your mom for your dad not being around. And and someone talked to me about that recently, like usually, and I feel like sometimes as a child, this happens with children, like you say you grow up and maybe your dad's not around. And sometimes initially when that happens, the child, for some reason, wants this closeness to the parent that chose to walk away. They almost like, like, even if say like, all right, my dad walked out of my life and he like, I don't want to be here. Low key, the kids are like, I want to go live with my dad. But mom is showing the fuck up every single day. It's like you desire for this, and I feel like subconsciously, sometimes, and I don't want to say just men because I can't say for women, but I feel like it happens with men a lot. Even though they love their mother as grown men, internally, deep down inside, they have a resentment because they really blame their mother for why their father walked away. If mom would have chose a better man, if mom would have did this, then maybe dad would have never left. I've seen that too many times when it came to men. And why are you mad at your mother? Why are you mad at women? Be mad at the person that chose to walk away. You know what I'm saying? But also it's like, I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, be mad at the person who walk, but learn to forgive. Just learn to say, I'm not gonna be that person. When men sit there and do shit like that, you're turning into exactly who your father is. If your father decided to walk away and not love you, and then as a grown-ass man, you decide, well, I'm gonna walk around and mistreat women, you are no fucking better than him.
So it's funny that you say that. I had a really good home girl. And she had a teenage child at the time. She broke up with a dude, and the dude and her had been together for a little bit. And when the child came home and found out that they broke up, I happened to be there because, I was consoling her because she just broke up with her dude. Just as a friend, y'all people out there. I was just being a really good guy at this moment for that moment. And when her son came home and, she told him, he's not going to be around anymore. He left. And the first thing her son said to her was, "What did you do this time? How did you go through another man?" And I looked at her and I looked at him, and he kind of stormed off to his room. I wanted to snatch his ass in neutral, but it wasn't my place. And she was like, "I can't believe he said that to me." And I was like, "Because you've told your son he can do no wrong. He's the same gender as the man that just left. In your son's mind, when you tell him he can't do any wrong, you're telling him men can't do any wrong, which means every guy that's walked out of your life is your fault."
Yeah. Yep. But if a young boy did that as a child, you think as they evolve into a man, subconsciously, they're not still thinking that? You could say him like, "I love my mom to death. My mom was a single mother. She sacrificed so much. I respect her so much." But subconsciously, that little boy is still deep down inside resenting your mother and blaming your mother and hating women currently in your life because your fucking father walked away. And somehow it's your mother's fault and every woman that come in your life fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense. And the thing is, I'm not going to say that women don't do it, but like, my father wasn't around growing up, it didn't make me all of a sudden have a resentment for men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had certain situational issues? Like, yeah, I said I had abandonment issues. And it caused me to have anxious attachment style, but never not once did it make me have my father not being around have a lack of respect for my mother. Never did I blame my mother, because I could clearly see my mother stayed. She was was there doing the work. She was taking care of me. I would not be who I am today if it was not for my mother. She gets all credit when due. I'm not gonna blame her. "Oh, you should have chose a better man." It is what it is. He made his decision. He's a grown man. So whatever he did, he has to live with that. But I think I feel like, because I don't want to say women don't do it, women might do it. But I feel like men do it way more than women, and it's like, we're not going around resenting our mothers. We not even, some of us might resent our fathers, you know what I'm saying? But I don't, because I know so many women that, like me, grew up and didn't have these fathers, and they still might not have the best relationship with their father to this day, but they're married. They're in happy, healthy relationships. They love their men. They're not using their dad not being around for, "Oh, I hate men, and because my dad wasn't around, my dad ain't never do this. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm not doing shit for y'all." Like, we don't have that mentality. A lot of us don't. I'm not going to say some of us don't have that mentality, but majority of us are not treating men as a reflection of like what our dads did to us, and I think like that is exactly why men need to go to therapy. They need to heal, and they need to work on, okay, like, if you are having failed relationships, then you need to learn. And you need to forgive, but I'm just sick and fucking tired of everything being women's fault. At what point do we take accountability?
Now, I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Because I be getting on the guys. I'm usually on your side, but ladies, y'all have got to stop making it hard to be loved. And I'm not saying every woman.
That's a whole nother
I'm not saying every woman.
The fuck we not about to do here? No.
You know what?
No.
We'll put a pin in that top, because some women make it hard for a man to love them, but we'll hold off on that.
We are talking about the men that have good women in their lives, and they
should love them.
That's what we talk about right now. Y'all niggas gonna be held accountable. Period.
And I'm gonna hold them. I'm gonna hold every guy's foot to the fire.
That's a whole different subject. That's a whole different subject. Exactly. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you. Please get your husband. I'm sorry.
You know what? For today, I'm gonna be obedient. I'm gonna abide. But we you know what? That's going in the notes.
Put it in there. Today. I don't give a shit. We can talk about this shit tomorrow. We're not talking about that today. That shit ain't got shit to do with shit we talking about right now.
But yeah, choosing to love a woman.
We are talking about the women that are trying to love men and men refusing to love them back based off of their trauma and them not taking accountability. That's what we talking about.
And it's not always trauma. Especially depending on the generation. Like I didn't learn how to love or not love from my parents. My parents were married when I was younger, and you know they had whatever kind of love they had. Not really sure what you call that kind of love. Oil and water love. I don't know what it is, but you know they survived through it as long as they could. But it was the streets, the older guys that I was around. Because when I was a kid, I thought, you know, saying like, hey, you know, I like this girl. I must love her. I was that little kid. But as I started getting older, and I'm like, yo, I'm pouring into these women and I'm watching these dudes dog women out. They got girlfriends. And I'm like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Chicks keep breaking up with me. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, so as long as I throw money at them, I don't need to do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be caring and public displays of affection and all that. I had to do all that shit. I figured throw money at them. Yeah. During my generation, we learned a lot of how to treat women by how we watched women get treated. If the woman stayed around, the guy must be doing something right. So we figured, okay, so I'm gonna do what he does. Not realizing that behind closed doors, she was miserable because she wasn't properly being loved. Yeah, she can get dropped off and get her hair done and all that shit. She had that. And even till this day, I've watched women from that same generation, that same era, who will get on social media. Oh, my man did this for me. My man did that for me. Oh, my man took me out. He took me outside the country. But they're still miserable because they're not being properly loved and they're not being loved the way they want to. And when they finally get the wake-up call that I need to walk away from this situation, everybody's confused. Because for the last, 5 years, we watch you go, oh, my God, he gets me. Oh, my God, he knows exactly what I want. And then like that, you had to walk away because you woke up and said, this man don't love me for real.
Yeah.
So you gotta listen to what a woman's saying to you. If she says to you, I don't feel loved, that's not her just bitching at you. That's not because she's on her period. That ain't none of that shit. That came from somewhere, and it came from somewhere deep within her. Listen to that. Because you'll wake up one day and that same woman who has been pouring love into you won't be there no more.
Yeah. Misha says sometimes it's arrogance. She said it's them thinking they can get better and they will never lose her. I also think sometimes men do it too, not only like resenting their mothers, but resenting the women that is technically out their league, shitting on them.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Because it's like men be wanting these women that is out y'all league, out y'all tax bracket, and you realize they only want you for one thing. They shit on you, and as a result, oh, let me go to the good woman who actually fucking loves me for who I am, and treat her how this bitch done treated me. You know, so I feel like men do that too. It's like y'all. I'm right there.
Most, and I'm not gonna say all. I'm not even gonna say most. Some men who treat women bad or choose not to love a woman, or love a woman properly, is because they have been mistreated by a woman. And does not make it right. But if you look at most men, most dog-ish men out there, not dogs, because a dog is a dog. He was a dog, but dog-ish. There was a woman in their past who hurt them. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's the right way to do things, because we all get hurt.
Punishing, Don?
They're punishing the good woman, the woman who wants to be with them. They're punishing the wrong person.
The fuck they are. Despite the money, despite the money, cars, and clothes.
Yeah.
Y'all want to love the hoes, and y'all want to sit down and fuck y'all niggas. Sorry, I'm fed up. This woman is fed the fuck up. I'm sorry. Take accountability. The fuck. I'm tired of it, Dawn. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so sick and tired of these fucking men, and then want to make all these fucking excuses instead of taking accountability and shitting on good women as a result of the decisions that you fucking chose and the other people that hurt you.
And they're messing it up for that good man that's going to come along, because that woman's only going to get mistreated so many times before she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna dog these niggas out first. And trust me, guys, women are much better at that shit than we are. We think we are, but no, women will make you think that you are the biggest and baddest thing on this planet, and you'll wake up and she'll gut your fucking heart. Women are good at this shit. But if you mistreat a woman long enough, you'll take a good woman and turn her bad.
Yeah.
It takes longer. It takes longer. Women are more resilient, and women will give guy after guy a chance and try to show them how they just want to love them. But after a while, women hearts can get kind of cold too, and it gets cold when the last moment you want that shit to happen. Because a woman will walk out on you just when you need them the most. They'll stick that shit out the whole time. I watched this couple, and the dude would go out and mistreat his woman and cheat on her and all that shit, and she stuck around with all that shit. This motherfucker got sick, and she said, I'm out. And I was like, wow, like she could have did this shit before he got sick, but it wouldn't have had the same effect in her eyes, I think. Like, as soon as he got sick, she didn't wait for this motherfucker to get out the hospital. She was like, I'm not going to be taking care of a motherfucker who's been shitting on me for years. So I think if everybody says the dating pool is fucked up, I think if we just start treating each other better, we can clean this dating pool up a little bit. If we treat people good, even if you don't work out, let you not work out just because y'all just wasn't on the same path or something like that. But if you know that you can't properly love somebody, don't put them through the bullshit and take a good woman and turn her into a fucked up chick just because you're not on your shit. You know what I'm saying? If you can't be the man for her, don't be in her life, period. Like, let that shit go.
I think men have to take accountability. Some men, not all men. The real men know what's up. Y'all know we ain't talking about y'all. But the men we is talking about, I think y'all need to take accountability. Y'all need to stop bleeding onto people who did not cut you and heal that wound. So you can experience love. It's an amazing thing. And you really shooting yourself in the foot by denying people who genuinely love you. Like, you could be 20 times the man that you are with the right people loving you. So,
oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah. And for the women that have been mistreated for no reason, just trying to love men, I pray that you don't harden your heart, you know?
Yeah. But women, learn how you actually want to be loved. There's a stupid little, what is it? The love language test. Learn your love language. And that's something that you should have a conversation with somebody at the beginning and let them know, if you can't love me this way, And I don't, whatever your love language is, if you can't love me this way, walk away. We still cool, no harm, no foul. We can actually split this dinner. I'll pay for mine, you pay for yours. We can walk away from each other. But ladies, learn how you actually want to be loved so that you can tell whatever guy comes into your life, look, this is how I expect to be loved. So they can hopefully make an honest decision. Yeah, I can do this, or hopefully, yeah, you know what? That's not something I can really do. Because I know women who, what is it? Touch.
Physical touch.
Physical touch is their love language. Mm-hmm. And there's guys who don't like being physically touched at all. Like they don't like the public displays of affection. They don't like they're not rubbing your shoulders. And that's something simple. Yeah. A woman whose love language is physical touch, you can literally put your hand on her shoulder and it will send chills to her fucking body because that's all she really craves. Mm-hmm. But if you can't do that shit, if you like touching people makes me cringe, you shouldn't be with her. Let her fucking go find somebody who loves to rub on her and touch on her and shit. I'm saying it's stupid shit that we're doing because we think, okay, you know what? I just got to get in the drawers. And you're wasting a woman's time. And now you got a physical connection. Now she's more connected to you.
But it's funny because men don't like when women waste their time, when women use me for dates and this, that, and the third. But y'all okay with doing it to other women though?
Yeah.
Where's the fucking accountability? All right. I'm pissed, y'all. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I'm just like sick of the fucking lack of accountability because I'm a lover girl. Like it's nothing more than I want to see Black men and Black women thrive and have healthy, beautiful relationships, marriages, unions, and children. That's all I really want. But it's going to take some fucking accountability for that shit to work.
Yeah.
And if we sitting here pointing the finger or, oh, why didn't do that? Like, if we in denial about shit, nothing will ever come together, you know? And it starts with being fucking real, you know? Nobody is fucking perfect. Everybody has fucking flaws, you know? But it's like you have to take accountability, both parts, men and women, you know? But you can't just always be pointing the blame for the lack of you growing as a man. Like, if I say I want to be a millionaire, I have to do the work to become a millionaire, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just want accountability, you know? That's what all I really want.
And accountability, unfortunately, is not a man's strong point. And I don't know why that is. A guy will say, no saying, and I've been guilty of this. Relationship broke up, and everybody was like, "What happened?" Oh yeah, she crazy. She was just crazy. It wasn't me, you know. I'm still me, but you know, she was crazy. And never taking accountability for the fact that either I fucked the relationship up or I just was uninterested. Mm-hmm. But it is a choice that we have to make, and we got to make that shit early in the game. Like when you meet a woman, your end goal is not, I just want to get the drawers. I want to see how this shit is. Like that's the least, not the least important thing, but you know, it's very far down on the list of importance. You know what I'm saying? Because this is somebody's heart and feelings and emotions that you're now in charge of. And what you do with those emotions that this woman is going to be pouring into you is going to have a stain on her life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. I made my mistakes. I fucked up a lot. I told my oldest son, I was like, yo, be careful on how you treat women because you're going to look back one day and you're going to be, damn, I fucked over some really good women. And that's a bad fucking place to be. So luckily, you know, God saw fit to, give me, I don't know, like a 16th chance, so.
We appreciate your self-awareness and your accountability and how much you have evolved on. We really do.
Yes, evolution is good. Evolution is definitely good. But it's a choice. Like the if y'all don't take anything from this segment right here, it's a choice. And you got to really choose to grow up and be accountable for how you're loving someone or not loving someone. But that shit is damaging. Luckily I've never really burnt too many bridges. So I've been able to apologize to women from hell when I was in my 20s because of what I did or how I treated them. Some of them. Some of them just couldn't stand me enough to where even if I did reach out to them, they'd be like, fuck you, you piece of shit. And I just got to accept that. But like, you're really in charge of more as a man than you know. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for more than you know. And I know that there's some hardcore women out there. Oh, a man ain't responsible for shit about me. I'm going to be who the hell I'm supposed to be. No, most women, they really do pour into men and they open themselves up to men.
Yeah.
And every time you step on her heart, like what you leave behind is big.
Yeah, like I think that's not talked about enough neither. It's like how some and I'm not, because I don't want to say like men don't go through it too, because men definitely get their heart broke, but it's like me, I feel like every time a man do me wrong, it takes me like 2 years to recover from that shit. Like I be going through, and I'm not exaggerating, like I go through a deep depression, like depressed, so I think that people have to stop playing with people's heart, and it's like one of those topics that we talked about before. If you don't like people playing with you, why are you gonna play with somebody else? And the same way that you play with somebody's gonna play with you. So like if you want genuine, real connections, like do right by people, and then what you give is what you shall receive. Even if something don't work out, it's not like it's like how you go about things. Be respectable about things. But it's that same thing. You can't go around mistreating people and think that God about to bless you with the best thing on earth.
Nah, because as soon as you find that person, and this has happened to me twice, as soon as you find that person, you're like, shit, yo, I'm into her and I'm trying to love on her. And that's going to be that one that's going to be like, nah, we good. We just cool. Fuck you. We just sex. And the emotion that's going to drain from your fucking body, because you're like, well, wait, I'm into this chick. Why? She don't want to be into me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that I've had that shit happen twice. And after that second time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop playing, because that fucking boomerang effect, that shit don't feel good. That shit is horrible. So be careful how you treat somebody.
Is it not their own karma though?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. And that was karma that got built up for years. And God was like, here you go. Here's your time, nigga. And I was sitting in my car outside the chick crib, like, the fuck just happened? Like, I thought we was gonna be it. I thought I found my one.
You got a taste of your own fucking medicine, and bam.
Hell yeah, and that shit didn't taste fucking good at all. That shit tasted horrible. And a lot of guys don't realize when they finally get with that woman and they're totally into them, and they're like, yo, why she treat me like this? Yo, why she doing me like this? Why shit gotta be like this? Instead of going, damn, so those last 12 that I treated bad, this is how they felt? You know what I'm saying? This is the shit that they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Because I was sitting there like, damn. And when, especially to have somebody say to you, Nah, we just sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a relationship with you. The ego shattering, that shit sounded like somebody threw a fucking weight through plate glass. It was just like, and I was just like, the fuck is going on? So we not gonna be together at all? Like, and she's like, nah, we just fucking, we cool. Oh shit. Wait a minute. But I had to take accountability for the fact that, yeah, that shit was a long time coming back. And it didn't feel good at all. So I'm really, I was, after that point, I was very honest with women. Look, if this is what we gonna be, this is what we gonna be. Or, hey, I'm really into you. If you're not into me, let's put this shit out on the table now.
Yeah.
I need to get my feelings in check now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ladies do the same thing. Like, tell these guys in advance, like, this is what I'm looking for. This is how I want to be loved. If you can't do that, some women are acts of service. You know what I'm saying? Acts of service. If that's what you want, that don't make you any bad kind of person. If that's how you want to be loved, say, this is how I choose to be loved. If you can do that, fine. We can continue talking and see if we a match. But if you can't, if that's something you can't do, let me know today so I get my feelings in check and walk away from this shit. Like I said, we can split this dinner. I ain't taking your money. I'll pay for my meal. You pay for yours. Right. It was cool talking to you. Let's walk away from this shit. But don't expect a man to automatically know how to love you. Because some men know how to love. They just don't know how to love a woman. They don't know how to love the right woman the right way. And guys, if I don't care how beautiful she is, I don't care how sweet you think she is, if you can't provide the love that she's expecting, walk away. Because wasting a woman's time, like, for example, like you said, it takes you 2 years to get over a heartache, right? So let's say that you deal with a guy for 6 months, and then he finally decides, okay, yeah, you know what? I think today's the day I'm gonna hurt her. And then it's 2 years before you really get past that point. So now you've given up 2 years and 6 months of your life on somebody who wasn't worth that shit in the beginning.
And that's a lot of women.
Yeah.
Some I feel like those are women who take the time to heal. You know, the women that, you know, it's some women, I'm not going to say, because some women will hop from one person to the other, but I feel like women who have to, like, self-reflect and be like, dang, like, you know, like, this really hurt me, like, you know, whatever the case may be, it takes us a long time to want to be around men, you know. Like, one of my clients, like, she was supposed to be getting married, she called off her wedding, and then she found out the whole time the guy was cheating the whole time, you know. Like, that fucks you up mentally, like, dang, like, I literally was about to marry you and you was cheating the entire time. Like, did you really want to get married? You know, like, imagine what that does to someone. Like, you know, because you go into a phase of blaming yourself, and then, you know, then you're like, okay, well, it's him, but it's like, I still love him. I care about. It's so many different feelings when it comes to the situation that you have to really reflect, you know, and heal from. You know, to me, I feel like a good woman is not just gonna be like, okay, it didn't work out, let me go talk to somebody else. Like, you know, it's like that. If you really cared about somebody and really was invested, like, it's gonna fuck you up, you know. And then it's gonna make you more guarded. It's not gonna make you want to easily let your guard down again, you know. And that and just like you said, something so simple as like 6 months or something can turn into 2+ years, you know, because it hurts you that bad, you know. So it's like, not only did you rob me of the 6 months, you robbed me 2 years after, you know, of the time that I already don't have, you know, just to heal from, like, how you hurt me, you know. So I don't know.
I don't know. This has been one of those topics, but I am going to be talking about LA. No, I'm going to do it now today. But tonight was definitely a good topic, because I think, and I hope that guys hear it coming from me. I am by no means a soft dude. I'm probably one of the hardest hearted, but I've also learned that in order to achieve the love that I want from a woman, I gotta give that love. So I'm not coming down on guys. I'm still on your side, guys, and y'all hear me on later shows. I'm still on your side, but like I got sisters, I got daughters. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to be treated right. And I have female friends. I want to watch them get treated right. And if you can't do it, like you can't do it. It's nothing wrong with saying, yo, this ain't me. You know what I'm saying? And walk away, but don't wait until she becomes invested in you. You know what I'm saying? Emotional investments is, trust me, that shit hurts 30 times more than a woman investing money in you. If a woman just bought you shit, she might be like, that's some fucked up shit. No shit. I bought this nigga some shoes and a jacket. You know what I'm saying? Bought this nigga hats and he walked away from me. She'll get over that shit. Her next paycheck, she good. She go into the club, put on her fucking dress, and she good. Mm-hmm. But when a woman gets emotionally invested and you take that investment and you crumble that shit away, she's starting to second guess who she is. What about me made it easy for him to treat me this way? And why do that to people? You know what I'm saying? And yes, I used to be that guy. But when I tell anybody, and I'll say it to anybody who's willing to listen, the older you get, the more you start to reflect on all this shit you did bad, because you're hoping and praying that this is not the moment that karma is going to come back at me. You know what I'm saying? If you got away with it for so long, make your fucking repents and do the best you can for the next woman that comes into your life. Because the one thing you don't want to do is sit there and wonder every single day, is this going to be the day that karma coming back at me? You know what I'm saying? Is this the day that this person is going to shit on my life while I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm invested in them? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to come home and see my wife cheating on me because of all the times I cheated? Yo, the older you get, the more, I don't know about every guy, but I know for me, I'm like, yo, please don't let karma come back at me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm being a good dude. Don't let this be the moment when karma's like, And when you were 16, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that shit to come back now. You know what I'm saying? So I talked to God. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry for what I did. I made my repent to all the women, at least the ones I was able to actually have the conversation with, and tell them, look, there was nothing wrong with you in that moment. For the ones where there was nothing wrong, some of them was fucking crazy, but for the ones that was like, you know, saying there was nothing wrong with them, I'm like, yo, I'm sorry for how I treated you. I'm sorry for what I did to cause the breakup. Whatever I did, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I hope you can forgive me, because I don't need karma coming back right now. You know what I'm saying? Shit's going real good in my life. I don't need that shit now. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that bad juju. Fuck that. So guys, I'm still on your team, but let's do right, y'all. Let's do the right thing. We have asked y'all to do things on the show, and y'all are coming through in big numbers, and we appreciate y'all. Our watch hours are growing. Y'all are watching the whole show. Y'all sticking it out all the way through, and we appreciate y'all. Y'all are sharing it with people. There's a guy that I think you know, and he's lighting us up out there, and I appreciate him. He's putting us out there. I'm scrolling through my timeline. I'm not even his friend, and I should have showed up on his, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I appreciate it. You know, we definitely appreciate what y'all do, and how y'all support us.
Yeah,
keep doing it though. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, and we only got about 2 weeks left. So we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before March. We only need about 600 more. So 5 is some change now, because we picked up some last week because he asked y'all. So we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. From me and Bridget, we thank y'all. We don't do this shit because we like to argue. we act, sometimes we do. Wait till next show. Y'all gonna see how much.
Yeah, we're gonna be screaming at each other.
So tune in next Wednesday. And keep liking, subscribing, and sharing the show. And just remember, don't be afraid to love each other the right way. And until next Wednesday, we out, y'all. Peace.
This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Dawn. Please like, subscribe, and share.